Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. Thanks as always for watching. Got a lot of questions here regarding WWE and TNA, so let's get right down to it. Hey Aaron, my friend Matt told me about your show, so here's a question that probably hasn't been asked before. But do you think Rock vs. Cena 2 and Triple H vs. Brock 2 can be better than the first match? Why or why not? And keep up your hard work. Under normal circumstances, I would say that the first match is usually the best. One example would be CM Punk versus John Cena from Money in the Bank 2011. In some cases with the first match, it becomes historical and you have all the stars aligning and you just have a magic that you're not able to recreate. So with that match, you had the perfect example right there. But in the case of the WrestleMania rematches this year, well, not Triple H versus Brock was from SummerSlam, but Rock versus Cena being a rematch from WrestleMania and Triple H and Brock being a rematch from SummerSlam, I think that there's a lot of improvement you can make with both of those matches. I think with Rock versus Cena 2, obviously more is on the line now, the WWE title, and for this match, I think that they can do more near falls and more false finishes, guys kicking out of each other's finishers, and you can really do more with that. And with Triple H versus Brock 2, I was there at SummerSlam for the first match, and it just didn't really feel like an all-out brawl between these two monsters. I was a little bit disappointed with that match, and I think this time around they should really go all out and just beat the crap out of each other, just go all over the ring, go out into the crowd, use weapons, just make it as brutal and vicious as possible. I'm expecting something more like the Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match. I want to see these guys just beat each other into oblivion. And so yeah, I do think that both matches should be better this year than last year, and I'm hoping so. So we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, this one comes from Edswoggle. Hey Aaron, do you think that it was right for Cole and Lawler to bury Brad Maddox in the highlight reel segment last night on Raw? It made Maddox come off as not ready for TV and didn't do anything good for the other three as well. Your thoughts, please answer in video. I would say normally that it's a bad idea to bury your product, but in this case, I did not think that was a good segment at all. I thought that was easily the worst segment on Raw. Now, I think what happened was Vince McMahon was backstage and he was realizing that this segment was bombing, and he just told Michael Cole through the headset to bury it. We've seen it happen before in the past, and in this case I think he made the right decision. I mean, I was dreading this segment from the moment that Chris Jericho talked about the Marine 3 being a huge hit. Note to Chris Jericho, baby faces are not supposed to lie. And after that, Wade Barrett comes out and brags about his new movie that he made a cameo in, opening in the top 5. Wow, the top 5. He failed to mention that the movie opened with around $5 million and was basically a flop. But, I mean, it was really bad. And when Maddox came out, I think most of the people at home were wanting this segment to end. And I think Michael Cole was right on the money in this case. But yeah, like I said, normally you don't want to bury your own product. But I think here, this was definitely a throwaway segment, and it really meant nothing towards the build for WrestleMania. So I felt that they were able to get away with it. Alright, this one comes from the IWC. Hey Aaron, if Undertaker and John Cena face at WrestleMania 30, can you possibly see Undertaker turning heel to build to that match? Similar to the Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan feud. Absolutely not. I do not see Undertaker turning heel again in his career, and I think it would be a huge mistake, and you know what? I don't think it's ever going to happen. I mean, let's look at it this way. Who is going to boo Undertaker at this stage of the game? He is a bona fide legend, and the WrestleMania streak is something that people are behind. There's just no way you'd be able to turn him and get the WrestleMania crowd to boo him. It's just not going to happen. Undertaker's only doing 1 or 2 matches a year now, probably only WrestleMania. He may only have 1 or 2 matches left in him. He's not going to go heel at this point. It's just not going to happen. Alright, this one comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. Hey Aaron, to partner. Okay, or two-parter. Well, I didn't get the second part here, so I'm just gonna have to answer what you have. What did you think of Big Show's angle with the Big Boss Man, and would you like to have seen the Boss Man with a world title run at the time? I was very entertained by that whole storyline. It was in very bad taste, but I loved that segment with Big Show's funeral and Boss Man invading and Big Show body surfing with the coffin. I thought that that was hilarious. But as far as being a world title feud, that was a mistake. And to have that match on pay-per-view for the world title was a bad idea. And the crowd was completely dead for it. And it just wasn't something that was meant to be taken seriously. It was a comedy feud, and having it for the world title just did not work. It was a bad idea, and Boss Man as world champion would have definitely devalued the title, and just wouldn't have been wise to put the title on him. And I think it was questionable putting the title on Big Show, but I think that they had really no other choice because of Steve Austin getting hurt, and they had to have Big Show as a last-minute replacement. They felt that they had to do a title change so the people that bought the pay-per-view would be satisfied, that they saw something special despite Austin not being there. So, Big Show being world champion wasn't in the plans, and certainly Boss Man winning the title I don't think would have been feasible. Even during the Attitude Era when titles were changing all the time, just it wouldn't have worked out. All right, this one comes from Young EZ. Hey Aaron, do you see The Undertaker pulling out all the stops during his match with CM Punk? Like using the Hell's Gate submission and the Last Ride? And which of his many signature moves is your favorite? I would think Undertaker will do as much as possible at WrestleMania. Now, I do see there being a lot more submissions in this match just because of the fact that Undertaker can only do so much, and it's actually easier on his body to do more of a submission type of match with CM Punk, and I'd like to see it, have them trade submissions back and forth. I mean, that would definitely add a lot of drama to the match, and Undertaker doesn't have to risk a serious injury, and those power moves take a lot out of you, and to be honest, I don't know if we're going to see the Last Ride at WrestleMania. I don't know if Undertaker has it in him, but we'll just have to wait and see. Who knows what The Undertaker is going to try to pull out at WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania, and I'm sure The Undertaker going in is going to want to have the best match possible. So I think we will see him do the absolute best that he can do. And as far as which moves I like the most, I'd have to say the Tombstone. The Tombstone's his signature move, and that's the move that's most associated with him. All of his moves are very memorable. The Tombstone, Choke Slam, the Last Ride, Old School, and Hell's Gate. Undertaker, when he does his move, it means something. Undertaker's moves have always been very memorable, and Snake Eyes. Undertaker has always made his moves something special. All right, this last one today comes from Red Sox fan 401. Does WWE expect us to just forget the team's Rhodes Scholars went their separate ways just a few weeks ago? The short answer is yes. The long answer is that I think WWE felt that they could do something different with those two guys, but then once they split up the team, they realized they really had nothing for them, and the decision was made to put them back together. In my opinion, it was way too soon to break them up. I think that they had a lot of momentum, and I'm still surprised that they didn't get the tag team titles. I think that they should have gone to run with the titles, and maybe they will at this point. But when I heard that they were breaking up, I was a little bit surprised. I thought that WWE would get more mileage out of Rhodes Scholars before breaking them up. And usually when something works, WWE goes all the way with it, and they don't break something up when it's working. So that surprised me a little bit. And, I'm also not surprised to see them reform the team because, they are a very entertaining team. This past Monday on Raw, when they were doing the whole New Age Outlaws parody and making fun of them, I thought that was hilarious. I was really entertained by it. And like I said, I'd like to see more Rhodes Scholars. I think that they could go for another 6 months and have a lot of momentum. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and check out all the other videos. Check out all the playlists, the best of NoDQ&A video, the best of Talk Wrestling, the best of XMV, all up on the YouTube channel. And just keep spreading the word about No DQ&A video. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. Share the video on those sites. And just keep letting people know. Anybody you know that watches wrestling, have them check out No DQ&A video and see what they think. With that being said, I'll see you next time for more No DQ&A video.